All right, GM, everybody, welcome to Wake and Jake. A bit of a light crowd, but that's expected. Mondays people get started a little late, a little trickle in. But yeah, we had a bit of a rough few days. Markets were crashing. Everybody was calling for an end. It was over. Oh my God, I'm so down. Everybody was down. But hey, those who bought the dip were once again rewarded. Trump and the administration came out and like basically saved crypto again after tearing it down themselves, basically, and signed an executive order to add a few of the coins to reserves. That was fun, made us kind of throw us back on the right track, temporarily at least. But yeah, Jake, GM, bro, how are you? How's everything?
Yeah, Jim. Good to see some green for sure over the weekend. We had certainly quite the roller coaster over this past week here. If you're looking at the charts, not only for Bitcoin, but we get some alts involved in the party as well. So definitely a lot to talk through here. If we want to get started on macro, yeah, man. Just as a quick overview, Bitcoin is, as I'm talking about, like 90K, just over, down 4.5% on the week. ETH down 14.5% on the week. Sol is up 3% on the week. If we're looking at some of the majors, I guess I should probably start including stuff like XRP in the update, up 7%
Oh
on the week. It is the number 3 crypto after all.
no! Oh fuck!
I don't think it's going away. But yeah, obviously the big news over the weekend, Trump announces an executive order for a strategic digital asset reserve. We've heard some inklings of this in the past, but there really hasn't been like an official declaration from him since he's got into office. And this is the first one. Set markets, steaming up pretty insane amounts over the weekend. Yesterday, the big news was this. It wasn't just Bitcoin. It was also he also specifically mentioned Sol, XRP, and ADA, which is crazy. And in a later post, mentioned also Bitcoin and ETH as a part of that. So right now, those are the five that have been confirmed that he wants to include in that digital asset reserve. Yeah, we saw a pump from, I think it was like 80. Let's see, what was it? The weekend.
It was
Yeah, he announced it was like
79.9.
85. It
Yeah.
was 85 when he announced it.
All right. Yeah, we had
And
climbed
then it
back up
went
a shoot.
to almost 95 about at its high. It's almost like a 10K Bitcoin move, and even bigger for these alts that he mentioned. ADA went from like, I don't know, like 50
Almost two
cents to like a
x.
dollar
Yeah,
20
yeah.
or something like that. Yeah, I think it about 2x or so. XRP went up a bunch too, obviously, but um, yeah, right now I think we've since retraced a bit. Basically, like as soon as the stock market opened, it went down only like in some huge candles. Um, right now, there's just uncertainty. I think about how like long this would take or like how exactly it works. Really the only information we've gotten so far is just those Truth Social posts that Trump had yesterday. And regarding to it, we don't really know anything in regards to timeline or like amount of what they would be buying. It seems like I haven't dug into this in an insane amount to know like if there's any roadblocks here of like if this can get like blocked as far as like actually enacting this reserve, but I haven't seen anything in regards to that. So it seems like he'll be able to get the ball rolling on this. Please speak up if I'm wrong on that. Um, but yeah, as far as it like impacts the rest of like the just crypto in general, obviously it's like a huge impact to those altcoins because those were the unexpected ones. I think there has been some inklings of like Sol being like the USA coin. as well as XRP being like heavily tied to Trump, but I haven't seen much on ADA in the past, so that was a big winner in this, I would say. Just in general, I think those altcoins are probably, in my opinion, I'm like pretty bullish on all three, especially like XRP and ADA, because those were kind of like the odd ones out in terms of the expectations here, especially ADA, Cardano, if you will. So in my opinion, like as far as if you're taking like a more medium term view, in my opinion, like it probably should do really well, considering the United States of America is going to be buying Cardano, which is a crazy statement as a strategic reserve asset. I mean, aside from like the fact that it seems like some obvious crime going on, but regardless, it's kind of just all right. That this is what's going to happen, and then that means obviously if the United States of America is going to be buying it, that means other countries are going to be buying it, and big institutions are going to be buying it. And if it's a quite a bit lower market cap, circulating supply out there than stuff like Bitcoin and ETH, then the price can pump a considerable amount from where it's at, especially if many people are sidelined and weren't expecting this kind of news. I think things could probably get decently crazy on some of these altcoins if this actually does go into effect, anytime in the near future.
Yep, we're gonna see. I mean, it's good that they're mentioning it, but just overall, like just how the world is set up right now, it just feels like, or just the economy, even every tiny time something comes up, it just gets shot down because of tariffs or because of other stuff. But I mean, short term, it's at least it creates some plays, and I think it will be bullish long term. We just need to get rid of all the other noise that's currently happening, like what I mean, the Trump interviews and Zelensky siding with having meetings with Europe and wanting to escalate war. It's all bad for markets. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we just need to get rid of all the noise, and crypto will do well. But right now, there's just so much that's drowning out our focus anyway, right? Obviously, there's important things in the world to discuss for the world, but for us and how it pertains to our market, we want it to do well, and there's just so much to wade through before we actually get somewhere. But it's a step in the right direction for us, at least. I mean, a lot of the lawsuits are being dropped as we see on the timeline, and it feels like the SEC is hitting a hard reset, so that also helps for us. It doesn't mean they're not going to start attacking from another angle. I'm sure they will. I mean, people are going to go to jail, but it's just they cleared the path to probably do it in a more in another way, basically. So that might help a little bit too, but. Yeah, I mean, we're in a bit of a weird spot. Like, you expect these pumps to be sustained, but in reality, they always just come right back down. So, and people are trading scared. So anytime they see pumps like this, they usually take their exits. And again, we're seeing so much leverage trading being done even now that it's creating a lot of volatility. So yeah, a lot of things to consider still. It's not like, hey, nice, Trump's citing an order, let's go all in on crypto. It's people are being cautious, so you need to be cautious too. And we usually see markets kind of flush out in May. So in reality, what do we really have? We have 2, maybe 3 months of good trading before the summer comes, and then we start going flat or down again. So I love all this. It's great that we're getting good news, but I'm still being so cautious just because of the overall market.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's smart. I definitely am not saying I'm like gonna go bullish now. By the way, I was
Yeah,
more so talking about the specific altcoins over again like the medium term
for
or
sure, for
so, like
sure.
over the next several months. Um, yeah, right now, I mean, it was that open earlier today was not good at all. Things don't look pretty shaky at the moment. I certainly am not looking to go like risk on at the moment. I kind of like wait and see approach. Um, Don was definitely
Taking
very
victory
happy about the
laps.
fact that very happy about the fact that we closed above um like 90.5k or 9.7 or whatever his like range line was for the weekly. We closed really strong. I think it was like in the 93ks or so. Um but he still like hasn't really talked about being overly bullish. Besides these altcoins, these like XRP and ADA, he said he bought like immediately upon the announcement of the reserve. But as far as like Bitcoin is reserve or is as far as what we're talking about with Bitcoin, I would say he basically said like we would need to like close again today and like hold above this 90K range for him to feel good. Really going forward to be more risk on. So, and right now we're like at that basically, like kind of dwindling a bit under it as we're talking right now. So it's still shaky. I would still like wait a day or two in my opinion until getting like crazy risk on these kind of things to see if this pump actually sustains or if it dwindles back down. So yeah, like you said, I'm not going crazy bullish right now. It's more so it's good in general for crypto that if they actually are doing this strategic reserve, it's actually like insanely good once it actually starts. But things on macro side are still shaky, and price action has not followed through well so far today. So
I'm surprised by the amount of tokens they chose. I figured it would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, but they opened it up to basically the top five, or not even let's say top five US or US, yeah, not BNB, but all the US ones. So that was cool, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like they opened themselves up to so much risk. But yeah,
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be
yeah. I
fun
mean, I
to
think it's
see.
just crime.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, classic. Like, I mean, that those are the ones that they can pump the most and make the most money on. Um, and a lot of those guys have like the ear of the president. Like XRP is heavily entwined with like the Trump administration. Like those guys been big supporters for a long time of Trump and stuff. And Sol, I mean, David Sachs is the crypto czar that Trump appointed, and he's like one of the biggest Sol investors out there. I think he has like billions, or I'm not even sure exactly how much, but an insane amount. He's talked about it like on his podcast in the past. And they did this Sol thing a day after like a huge Sol unlock happened. So in my opinion, that wasn't coincidence either.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of this is just like probably just crime. But what are you gonna do? It's not
It's
crime
crime
when it's the
season.
president anymore. So whatever.
Yeah,
Hopefully it
when you
helps. Hopefully it helps our industry. Who knows?
I don't know if you caught this, but we have a Pelosi in Twitter now, in crypto now. Someone had opened a monster like 50x. Did you see that one? A monster 50x long on
Yeah.
ETH and
Yeah.
Bitcoin right before it launched, right before the news. Well, not right before, but a few hours before the news launched. And wow, yeah, what a position that was. And they made a lot of money, but what a crazy
Yeah,
risk to
they made
take.
like 10 mil or something like that, 8 or 10
Yeah,
mil, and then
yeah.
they closed it like at the peak, and then they they withdrew most of it and then shorted the top right after
Oh,
that
they
too.
shorted too. I missed that. Oh my god, look at
Yeah.
that. That's
Like
what a legendary trader.
yeah.
But yeah, if anybody has another angle, like feel free to come up here and discuss with us. We're always all ears. You know how it is with this show. We like to basically, have different takes and different ideas. Me and Jake are two people, and we see markets a certain way, but someone else might have another opinion. So, yeah, feel free. But if no one's interested, no problem. We'll move on to Hyperliquid, bro. Have you been keeping an eye on the
Wait,
NFTs over there, or do you want to
hold on,
keep?
wait.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were done.
Yeah. I had just one other thing I wanted to mention on the macro side is the SEC has been dropping cases against all the major crypto institutions that they originally had against lawsuits against back when Gary was the chair. So they've now dropped cases against Coinbase, Robinhood, Kraken, Uniswap, and Consensus. So it's not just like this strategic reserve, but it's also just in general. It's very clear that the policy of the administration is being followed through so far on Trump in terms of being pro crypto. I mean, all those case lawsuits like didn't make much sense in the first place. It didn't seem like there's anything like that they were doing maliciously. They were kind of just being in crypto, and that's why the SEC decided to carry out a lawsuit against them. So it's good to see those all dropping and clearing up some I guess uncertainty more uncertainty in the crypto world. There's been a couple other things too. I can't exactly remember what they were, but there's some headlines lately. Oh, Trump did say he's going to announce some big investment in like an hour from now. I think it's 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I think crypto people are speculating that it's going to be in regards to crypto. I don't know if that's true. I don't really know. But I would, I guess, at least keep my eyes out on that.
Yeah, the
I guess
crypto.
it's not crypto related, but who knows?
Well, the guy that's heading the whole crypto thing, he said we're not done yet. Stay tuned. There's more to come. So there's definitely something coming. Like they're trying to hype more here. I don't know what they're gonna do, but there's more news coming soon.
Oh, there's also like there's some congressmen who launched. This was like an hour ago. The congressional crypto caucus to advance pro crypto legislation as well in the U.S. So, they're also voting to repeal an IRS rule threatening crypto in DeFi. Oh, it's a $1 billion U.S. chip investment is what it seems like from AI. So maybe not crypto related.
Is this on top of the 500 billion or whatever they talked about? That I guess it is on top of that because they were saying they want to invest 500 billion into AI. So I guess this might be on top of that.
Yeah, not sure.
Okay, yeah, this must be that must be the announcement they were talking about though. Interesting, yeah. The AI war has been interesting to kind of watch. It's been moving so quickly. I run into these AI videos that most people that aren't on the internet all the time would not even know they're AI. They just wonder how they produce these videos. I guarantee that they're very confused out there right now, and it's only the beginning. But yeah, it's been crazy. We went from a few pictures with multiple fingers, like not even a year ago, 2 years ago, to like full blown, like crazy production of videos, long form videos for, in like 2 short years, and you wouldn't even tell the difference between like real or fake on them. So it's, I don't know, man. It's mind blowing what's going on over there. But yeah, that's all I got on macro. You got anything else, Jake?
No, that's it. Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on then. Have you been keeping an eye on Hyperliquid, or are you still fading that? Because I'm still fading it.
I missed the minute like by like several minutes, and then I kind of just like, all right, I'm not I'm not looking anymore. But I'm glad to see. I think a good amount of NBHQ people are in the hype. Was it Hypeos? Is that the big one that went off?
Yeah, exactly. Wealthy Hypeo babies are basically like the cornerstone of the NFTs out there on Hyperliquid right now, and it's kind of like with other ecosystems that we've seen. They allow for many different like whitelist mints, and yeah, they're basically considered the OG and the number one NFTs right now on Hype. So they're doing very well. They're at 180 hyper, 180 hype per Hipio baby. So they're doing very well. They've been climbing. I've been eyeballing them, man, from like 130 to 180, and I keep telling myself, do I really want to spend thousands of dollars on another NFT? So I haven't done it myself, but I know a lot of people are having a lot of success with it. That's cool. It's nice to see that we're having an ecosystem be active, and actually people really like enjoying playing on there. There's not that many NFTs yet, so it's not super saturated, but we've seen this movie before where when things get rolling a little too much, then it oversaturates it. But so far, from all the rollouts I've seen, Hyperliquid has done it well, and it's been slow, it's been steady, but out of nowhere, like by next week, there's probably going to be 100 NFTs trying to launch, and people getting like oversaturated, kind of like we saw with Say or with Sui or with any other chain that was hype at the time. But again, I think it's in a good shape. The coin's doing well. The platform is doing well, so it has a good chance to at least have some top NFTs, and we're seeing that with hypers that came out and shot up to 15 hype floor right now. So, and the tiny hypercats, the THCs, basically that everybody was super hot on last week or the week before, they're at 40 also, 40 hype. So it's good, man. It's fun to see some action on NFTs, and there's a lot of volume on them, so people are enjoying them. I feel like I'm probably doing the wrong thing by not getting invested, but yeah, it's just it's so expensive, and I don't know if I have the bandwidth for another ecosystem right now. I'll take a deeper look into them this week and see if I decide to get in. But I just don't want to be buying a top again and crying a week later that I lost all my money. But yeah, that's how I see them. I'm sure a lot of other people have other opinions in chat. People that are already in this ecosystem could enlighten us more, and I would love to hear more if you guys have info. Silva is typing. I'm not sure if it's for like if he's gonna roast me. Ah, there we go. Hyperliquid sounds nice and all, but does it ever even have a bear on the chain? I'm looking now, and no, I see bees, I see cats, I see a wolf-looking thing, an ape-looking thing. Hypers kind of look like, I guess, corgis. I'm not sure. So no, Silva. AI says that in terms of fading or not fading Hyperliquid, if you are perp trading, they're very likely to have another airdrop. Yeah, I heard the same. I'm hearing that that's probably what the season 2 airdrop's going to be. So yeah, we'll see. Nothing confirmed, but obviously they're not going to confirm it. They want you to speculate and trade. I feel like that when they do confirm it, it's just going to ramp up the volume and the coin's going to fly. And I don't think that's what they want. And nobody wants that, so they're being quiet about it on purpose, like we've seen before. It's doing well, the token. It's at 1880. Like they've held up so nicely in all this blood that we've seen, right? We've seen coins go from like we've seen Bitcoin go from 100K to 80 and back up. We saw so many different coins go up and down, but hype stayed above 20 for the longest time and is now sort of starting to regress, but still very healthy. I mean, for you know what I mean, I had never expected it to be this high this fast, so good for them. I hope to see it continue.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I got a lot of Hyperliquid volume. I would love to get something for it. Yeah, I'm sure. I definitely would expect much lower airdrop than the initial one, obviously.
For sure, yeah. But
Volume much
you'll get
more
less
spread out.
tokens. Yeah, you'll get less tokens, but the price is so high that maybe it'll, because they have a token allocation that was already set for this, but that token allocation might come out to a big number, like a dollar number. Then again, it is everybody uses it now. So like with 280,000 users, I think it's obviously going to be very saturated. It's going to be very saturated airdrop. You might not get much, but the token price is so high that it might be still very good. Yeah, have you been putting in a lot of volume, Jake? Have you been leverage trading a lot lately?
Nothing crazy. It was more so I did earlier, like
Okay.
back in like January and stuff, around like the Trump stuff, and
Oh,
yeah.
sick. Nice. Good. I hope it works out for you, man. I haven't touched it at all. I just, like I said, I would have loved to get in, but then you're buying a token that's at like $30, and it might come down, so it might just erase all your gains. And I was so worried about that. In a way, I was right. It's back down to 18, so now I'm actually considering it much more seriously to actually get in and start playing. But yeah, Hyperliquid, very nice to see. You wrote you wanted to talk about abstract farms. I don't have much to discuss on there. I know a lot of people in MVHU are in. Did you play at all with abstract? Are you involved? I just have such a blind spot for it.
No, I have. So I like made it some Gigaverse, and I had like had it on my to-do list like the past week to like start actually using it. And I haven't
Oh my god!
really gotten into it because it was like at the end of my to-do list. But I wanted to bring it up because I've seen some smart people like getting into it, and I think maybe I mean JJ's here. Hopefully JJ, if you can talk, I think I saw you might have tweeted about how much you're enjoying it.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear more, man. If you can give us a little a spiel about it.
yeah. There's a lot of smart people in there, like Thera Cassowary, Scott. A lot of these guys farming abstract as well. Seems to be they're just kind of like two sides of it. You can like either hold assets and you get a lot of like experience, like with on-chain heroes. You can just buy a bunch of heroes and play that, and it kind of fits the trifecta of like on-chain activity, holding, as well as like a coin to swap it. So, there's like I think like three main things you can do for experience in that way. But there's also the other side where you can do a lot of things for free or for very cheap. For example, like Gigaverse is one of those games where it's like rock paper scissors, and you do that and you just get experience. And there's probably like 6 or 7 things you can do for very very cheap or even free, right? And I've been enjoying it because like it feels a lot more like exploring again and not less like shitcoin brain rot. So it's been refreshing. But yeah, just hop into the abstract chat because there's a ton of things you can do in there. And again, like on-chain heroes was one of those things where I ultimately fumbled because I capitulated when abstract chain launched and didn't buy back and didn't sweep when it launched, even though I had ETH ready. But a lot of people cooked hard on that because it was like a 0.07 mint and even 0.12 on secondary, and it got all the way up to like 0.6, I think.
Oh, sick! I should have been more. I really wanted some on-chain heroes when they dropped, and I just didn't look at them, bro. I mistimed that so badly. But yo, give me the 5 minute like on Gigaverse. First of all, I saw that it launched, and I never like it just went right in and out of my brain, and I have so many, so I need to get involved here. How do I get them onto the game itself? Do I have to transfer them to an abstract wallet that's connected directly to Gigaverse, or is there a way of connecting my wallet?
Yeah, so you can create an abstract wallet using like your Google, your Twitter, or even MetaMask. So it could be linked to your wallet, and then that thing is like a privy wallet, so it's pretty like easy to use. Very seamless with like the games on there, and you could just bridge or transfer to there as well. And like I should say, with on-chain heroes, there will be probably another opportunity because seasons are kind of short. So that's what I'm waiting for. I think this season ends in like 10 days, where they're doing a more interesting approach to gaming NFTs, where like the levels and all that reset, but the items they get from the dungeons persist. So like I think it's going to be an interesting entry come 10 days or so, and maybe it's a little more sustainable in that regard. But yeah, happy to answer any questions with abstract.
Sick, yeah, I'm gonna get started today. Jake, we need to promise. We're making a promise right now. We're not gonna procrastinate. We're doing Gigaverse today, okay?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, we should get a working session going.
Yeah, for sure. Look, after we're done with this, we have like 30 minutes left. Yeah, I'm down, bro. If you guys are free, we'll run through it. I'm seriously just getting started now, and it's dumb because I had like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And Jeffers and
I thought, Jake has been pounding the table on pirates and proof of play forever, and I finally picked up a founder and like a level 5 ship because like a lot of these games are proof of play. Oh,
level 5 ship. Well, you're sick. I love it. Good job.
Yeah, I'm Scott, easy snipe, and a lot of these guys in here helped a ton with Pirate Nation. I was so lost.
Yeah, I'm still grinding it every day, just doing my gauntlet or whatever, but that's all I'm doing. I have to kind of see if there's anything else to be done, but right now I'm just doing the minimum. To me, that's the minimum anyway. So, Meg over here, she's saying, is there any plus EV for holding ROMs? JJ, is there any plus EV for holding ROMs?
I don't know about plus EV, but you do get experience for holding. Like it's very hard to tell the EV of a lot of these gaming stuff because like on the other side, like it's easy with hero because there's some mission or rewards with it, right? Like you earn hero or leaderboard gets you this NFT or something, and you can sell that, right? So with the Gigaverse, you get like materials and energy, which lets you play more. So theoretically, you by playing more, you get more experience, and by holding that NFT, you also get more experience. But there hasn't really been anything stated about like rewards or a token. So I think that one's less obvious EV wise than on-chain heroes is, but it definitely is a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I feel kind of always felt to me like the ROMs were just a way for them to raise money, but who knows? Like I'm sure they'll find a way to tie it in somehow.
They are, that's related to GLHFers, which is Dith, which he's Pirate Nation team, so I'm sure you get some sort of pop allocation. It might be tiny, but some exposure through that.
He's gonna tie it in somehow, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like the Gigaverse, is because it's pretty cheap to do, and you can farm abstract, and ideally you would get some of the pop airdrop as well. whenever that happens.
Yeah, so like I know you've been pounding the table on Pirate for a long time, and for some reason I didn't listen just because I guess I've been more short-term focused with trenching, and then it's nice to be back to longer-term things.
Oh,
But it's
dude,
like, yeah,
it was a really long-term thing though. Like, I think me and
yeah,
Jake, I think we were buying pirates at like 0.02, 0.05 around that area. It was pumping up, coming back down, and it was dead for the longest time. And it was last bear, and nobody really cared about these things. And even us, like we wavered a couple times where we're like, man, okay, we should just not look at these for a while. But I even sold some at 0.0, like at 2x, because I'm like, bro, what the fuck am I even doing here? You know what I mean? And I think I had like 40 pirates. I ended up keeping 10 or 12, and that was great. I mean, it worked out really well. But yeah, it was one of those things where since you're here every day, you know, it's hard to sit on your hands, even on the bear, especially in the bear, because it's so boring. And yeah, it was such a long term play for us, right? We got in super early, and it's obviously we're up big on it, but it took a lot of work too, especially when the game launched and stuff to try to get involved. And then obviously you're seeing these pirates run to over an ETH, and it's hard to hold even there. So yeah, I mean it's been good, but it's been a test also. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, I wonder when they're actually going to do that airdrop. I've been seeing some teases from the team on pop stuff. It seems like it's ramped up a bit recently, but I don't know. We'll see on that.
but yeah. I think them launching flat again was good because a lot of people just kind of wrote it off, like myself included, and it's created a lot of opportunities, especially for people in here who've been farming since week one.
For sure. I think you guys are going to do very well. It's backed by the right people, and it's just a really good chain. Very, very quick chain, and backed by the right people. Everybody's building on it. Like the builders and the devs are working on it, and you know what I mean. It's good. I mean, this Bera and Hyperliquid, all three have a really high chance of success for their own reason, and that's what I like about it. I remember us
Yeah, I like
mentioning it
that
in the Bear. Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
No, I was just gonna say I'm interested in the abstract stuff because it seems like good builders. Obviously, it's like a known people behind the chain itself, and it's just kind of like that time of stuff is more dead than normal, and like there's not really many other opportunities, and it seems like kind of like the farming season, but it's not highly competitive as well. So it could be one of those where you just put in, the time on a daily basis, you could probably get a decent reward for, not too much capital spent.
It's being built by absolute grinders. Like they didn't, like you saw it even through the Bear. They didn't give a shit. They just kept working, like kind of like us in here. So it's fun to see. Like I don't think they're just gonna be like, oh well, market's dead. Let's give up now. It's not. It's not that kind of feel that they have. They really want to build something for the future and something big that gaming could be built on. And I think they're doing well. We'll see. I mean, things take time. The good things take time, and I think this is gonna take some time too.
There, just because maybe you get more experience, and it's like I think less than a penny for a pengu.
Yeah.
It's always funny to see like them get happy for like one pengu tip, but it's cool to see.
Yeah, I laugh at that too, but this is what it is. So you know what I mean? They got to play the game. They gotta, and at the same time, you got to play the game too. So it might not be much, but at least it's getting thrown around. It's cool. Oh my god! I just got 100 Pangu. Wow, it's like $1.80. It's pretty sick though. I like it. It's fun. Anyone else in the crowd, or even Jake? Do you have anything else to add to the whole abstract thing, other than we're procrastinators?
No, yeah, that was it. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate the rundown.
Yeah, that was sick.
Anytime.
JJ. Thank you, bro. We'll talk about it right after this if you want. But yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the chatter on Twitter, but there's a supposed MetaMask token trading on basically a pre whatever it's called. I'm losing the word, but yeah, it's on pre-market. Yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of talk about it, and I think it's just all fake. Just a PR stunt by Linea is what I'm reading, but I don't know if anything else came out to point to the contrary in the last hour, but yeah, my initial thought is that it's all fake and MetaMask is not dropping a token yet, and I think they even mentioned it themselves in their Discord or something that there was no token yet. But yeah, what are you seeing, Jake? Are you seeing any concrete evidence to the contrary?
No. Oh, it looks like MetaMask did respond.
They did finally. Did they put it on Twitter? I'm looking now. Please be aware that projects indicating trading or pre-market trading of a MetaMask token are unaffiliated with Consensus. There is no MetaMask token. These advertisements and promotions are for speculative platforms unrelated to Consensus and without our involvement or endorsement. Please do your own research prior to engaging with them. But very important to hear, they said there is currently no MetaMask token. There is currently no MetaMask token.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there is like maybe a little truth into it, and that like maybe they caught a little bit of a wind on the MetaMask stuff, and they decided to pull a marketing stunt by being early to launching it.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I wanted to bring it up, was that maybe there's a small inkling of truth to it. Even though I think it seems pretty fake at the moment. But I think, again, yeah, I agree. I think it's just a marketing stunt by LogX for the most part, since it's a pre-market token, just ability to trade a token that's not out there yet. They're kind of just making up things on like supply and price and all that.
Yeah, 710 had a good reply that people from Fantasy Top are going to love. He says, I say this every day about fan points and they never listen to me. Oh, this guy. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that point to the token coming soon, because I know this doesn't look like much, but they redid their logo this week. You know what I mean? Why would you be redoing your logo, right? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden a token, like a pre-market opens for a token. I mean, there's a few, like, obviously you're pulling at strings here. There's no concrete evidence, but I mean, why are you reworking your logo, right? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, like, if you're not looking to promote something, why would you even be reworking the logo that you've had forever just randomly? And then all of a sudden, people are talking about a pre-market token. So there might be some truth to it. Like, obviously we have no timeline or anything, but like right now, I don't think anybody would be surprised either way. Like, if they would drop this week out of surprise, quotation marks, nobody would be surprised. And even if they didn't drop either now with all this, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But the current
would be nice.
To me. Yeah, it would be nice.
Hopefully they token. Bro. I hope Phantom does a token.
Yeah. It would be nice if they... That's what I was going to say, though. I was going to touch on Rabby. It would be nice for us MetaMask Rabby procrastinators if they just like gave no allocation to all the Rabby users. All the people that ported into Rabby, no allocation.
Yeah, it feels like there's several bigger potential airdrops that are probably just waiting for better market conditions. Stuff like proof of play and OpenSea, and maybe these wallets as well.
It looks like Cassowary is seeing it the same. Yeah, exactly. I see Cassowary sees it the same way too. Like, this is worded very carefully. Yeah, I agree. It is. You read through the lines there, and you're like, "Ooh, they didn't say we have no token in the works. They didn't say, like, they talked about consent. It feels like it is coming. It's just not right now. Even Consensus, talking about Consensus and stuff, right? It's like you're talking about basically, you're basically pointing to the token is coming. It's just not right now. We'll see.
A couple other airdrop stuff while we're on it. Wolves DAO's token Wolf, their airdrop checkers live. I know that this is already shared and time sensitive, but just reposting it for people who haven't seen. Looks like it's open for the next 48 hour, or wait, when was this? March 3rd.
Valhalla again?
Next couple days, yeah.
What was Valhalla again? I don't remember.
That's the Invinigod's leaderboard.
Oh,
like, you remember, like, it was like Tweed, and like if you held NFTs and stuff, it like gave you points, like gaming NFTs.
Right. Yeah. No, I did all that. Thank you. I didn't have much.
Yeah, but if
airdrop. So.
Nice. Yeah, because if you were like top 2,500, I think you got allocation.
Oh, nice. Okay. I need to buy some AVAX. I'm just like entering all these fucking drops and I don't have any AVAX at all in this wallet.
Yeah, it seems like AVAX is kind of heating up.
It
Maybe
is.
gets the rotation from Solana.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't, like, even me and Jake, we didn't discuss it, but it's true. Like AVAX is catching heat and there's a lot of airdrops over there. They're actually very, very popular and people are fighting for them, like we saw with Blub. Um and with other big ones that dropped before that really went to the moon, Wink, and others. So there's heat there, especially for airdrops. I don't know what it's gonna turn into. I don't know if they're like, I don't know, like, how we just talked about Abstract being gaming and Hyperliquid is for their own thing, and but I don't know where AVAX is gonna fit on all that. It might be a mix. I know they were big on games for a while, so maybe games keep building on there, but we'll see. I mean, right now it looks like it's meme coins dropping tokens. It's more of a community thing, but I don't know. Maybe other people have a better like grasp on what's going on over there. Don't be afraid to speak up, obviously.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Jinzo. It's kind of like a lot of these chains are sort of, I don't want to say dormant, but kind of like sitting on the sidelines. And even AVAX, which has kind of been leading in gaming, I say that kind of tentatively because gaming's been mostly dead outside of like Riot Nation and Abstract. But they do have Maple Story that went on there, which is a huge game. And they have like it's a partnership with like California DMV from a long time ago, and so there's like some legitimacy to it. But just like on the Wolves AI thing, I think that could be good for gaming and attention to that chain. So just to like say a little more about what I know about that project, it's like the Wolf AI. I think the goal is to incorporate it sort of like a bot into gaming related discords, and you could just ask the bot stuff about like gaming NFTs and stuff. So sort of a mix of like AI XPT and Rick.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
And
they had
go ahead.
Go ahead, Julie. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna finish. Like, it's gonna give like analysis, like AI XPT, but like relying a lot more on like their data. I don't know what they call it, data lake, I think, that they've had from like gaming, um, information that they've farmed or they've gathered over the years.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, AVAX was huge last cycle. It did not go unnoticed, the run they had and all the attention they had. And why I'm saying that is because they kept a lot of hardcore users. They kept a lot of hardcore members and users on that chain that are now having their day in the light and they're being allowed about it. So I fully expect AVAX to keep doing well. It just didn't die, you know what I mean? It did like everything else. It crashed in the bear, but like it kept relevant and it keeps finding ways to come back. So yeah, I never got super involved with it, but they had a really nice run last cycle, and I wouldn't see why they wouldn't this cycle too. Like people love that chain. But yeah,
I think the best thing. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
JJ, go ahead.
I think the best thing is like to treat these things like you're an explorer again and kind of just like try new things.
That.
I think like there was even a mint on Hyperliquid that did really well. Like I think it was called Hypers. And that chain is pretty ass, but it surprised. I think it was like a 2 hyper mint, and then the floor is like 20 now or something like that. I haven't checked today, but
yeah, it's like at 18 or 19. It's doing very well.
Yeah, and it's
no, sorry, 15. My bad.
15.
Wait,
yeah.
Did I screw that up? I have to refresh.
I'm seeing 17 or 15. Yeah.
I think it might be bugged because the top bids is 16 and a half, but the floor price is at 15 and a half, so it must be higher. It must be like a bugged listing or something.
Yeah, their marketplace is garbage. So I don't.
We've seen that before, bro. Like, holy fuck! Anytime there's a new chain, we have to use these platforms that aren't built out. It's been a mess.
But yeah, I mean, just like there's opportunities like everywhere. Just have to kind of be patient and we'll just look where I guess people are like paying too much attention on. Like if they were talking about it in the Hyperliquid chat here, and we have all these like tunnels, right? Where there's just specialized information everywhere. So it's nice to just browse focus discussions from time to time.
It is, and I think that's underrated. And people are always, I see people even in VC or just in general, they're still looking for things to do, and but it's just you got to realize, just pick one and dig in and see what you can do. There's opportunity out there. I know a lot of people that are having a really bad cycle, and it's basically because they do not know how to divert their attention and where to focus. Right? They're just hoping that NFTs come back, or they're hoping that, like, that the things that they're used to will work, but you just need to dig into a focused discussion, and maybe these talks that we have every Monday will kind of like open your eyes to on what is working and what people are doing, and give you an angle to attack, because that's what it is. It's not the same market at all. It's a little harder to find the opportunities, but in here we do have them, and we have focused discussions for each one. It's like I think we're a bit like an anthill where everybody expects there to be action on the surface, but in reality, these days the way it works with MVHQ is all in focused discussions, and those are the anthill that I'm talking about is all those pathways that we have under the surface, and you just need to pick one and dig in and choose one that works for you, really, and that's how you're going to find success. Like, there's just so much going on, but it's so diverted that we can't be blasting it in VC all the time. So, just pick one and try to dig in from these talks and see what works for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that, NL.
Sorry, I was gonna say it's even hard for me to do, right? It's like there's so much to do, so much going on. But when times are slow, it's good to just be curious. I think, like,
Yeah,
like they have monad farming. They're doing like, they were doing yaps before.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people on ethos now, and there's just a lot of different things to do.
That's crazy because it's a lot of it's speculative, and people are kind of afraid, but it's all low lift. Like, you don't need to put a lot of investment into this. That's what's great about it. It's going to be a lot of your time, and you don't know what's going to hit, and maybe the things that you farm, they're not going to hit, and the other ones will. So, pick a handful of things. Start with one and build that out, and start another one. I know it's tedious and it's a lot of work, but that's the only thing you could do right now, really, unless you want to do like I do and come into the shitcoin trenches and play the roller coaster ride. Or Russian roulette, in a way. So a lot of people are playing Russian roulette. They're not on a roller coaster ride. So yeah, I mean, like, we're not going to touch too much on shitcoins today because they're kind of slow. But I'm still making money there. It's much slower than it was, and the pumps are much lower. But like, other people are probably losing money, but I'm still doing well over there. So it's 50-50. Like, I want to do shitcoins and I'm keeping an eye on them, but I'm also farming. You know what I mean? It's good to have a variety of things to do, but I wouldn't suggest doing everything at once to start. I think you build one thing, jump to a next, and maybe you can get a good flywheel going of 2 or 3 or 4 different things once you're there. What were you gonna say, JJ?
Just a little too soon on the Russian roulette.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No. It's just he's just making a joke, but no.
You know what? When I said it, I thought of it. I'm like, wait, I just saw that guy.
But that's a great example, though, like the shitcoins, right? Because a lot of people have tuned out of shitcoins, and I think one of the best things, or a couple of like my strategy during like bearish times, and I wouldn't even say we're really in a bear market, but it's definitely more bearish than a couple weeks ago. Is like to just be farming, just like low risk and high time requirement things like abstract and stuff, or where people aren't looking, so you get more leverage against like the field, right? So I think a lot of field have kind of left Solana, and that's why you can see like your edge is a lot larger now.
Yeah, I mean, you see less pumps on shitcoins, but if you have an in, you can make money. I'm telling you, we're seeing some, like, okay, it's not going to 100 million anymore, the tokens you're playing. Maybe they'll go to 1 million or 2 million or 5 million. You're lucky it goes to 10. We're back to that. We're back to like pre-bull action on these coins, but that's when we made the most money. It's when we were able to be patient and not just in and out in a couple of seconds and PvPing against every person that was dumping on their following, right? So it's fun. I like it better like this. Like, this is when you have the most success, I think, because you have lower like less pumps, yes, but you also have a much less steep declines too on coins. A lot of the times you can actually play for a few hours. So for me it's better. I like this much better.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to lose the shitcoin philosophy of in and out. So learning how to long term hold again, you know.
Oh, I'm not long term holding, but I mean, you have a bit more time. Let's say, like look, I was
Yeah,
playing.
like an hour.
Not to get too crazy with it. Yeah, no, exactly. But like, look, this baby coin that we were trading that actually has like Jake posted it a few days ago, right? The government took a baby deer away from somebody, so it was kind of like a peanut play, right? Where they took the squirrel and killed it. Well, the thing was at 500K to a million, bouncing back and forth, and that's a nice 2x, right? Bouncing back and forth for a few days. So I kept buying and DCAing, reselling, buying, DCAing, whatever, keep working on my averages. And all of a sudden Elon does a retweet and it jumps up to 10 mil. So you know what I mean? That was kind of the play. You're making your 2-3x, but you're hoping that someone bigger catches onto it, or maybe they euthanize the fucking deer. I don't know. Like we've seen these before, right? Like it's crazy to say, but that's sometimes a play. And yeah, I mean, like now it's at 6 mil consistent. So yeah, there's plays, and if this was 2 months ago, this thing would have been already to 50 mil. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you have multipliers. It's just not like before where you can make like 150, 100, 200, 300x. But yeah, that's it.
yeah, and
That's all I
at the same time, it's like even though it's not going higher, you're also competing with less people. So it's like
Exactly.
you
Hey,
do
you go
get
look
a
on
better.
Colscan. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead with Colscan.
I was gonna say, yeah, you go on Colscan and stuff, and you see that they're it's not like before where everybody was just in and out. Well, they're still doing that in and out of trades for a few SOL in a couple of minutes, but a lot less activity than before. A lot of these guys are not even trading on their main wallets anymore, right? So that's what we wanted to see. We wanted that to cool off a bit, and even retail and the newbie normie investors, they're not trading like before, so it's not, you know what I mean, there's nobody to dump on, so they're taking it less seriously, the big copy trader guys. So it's been good. We're in a better spot.
Yeah, I love that, and I've like tuned it out, so I got to pay attention to the Solana chat.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going that fast. There's not that much to talk about. Even our guys, they all dropped out, but sometimes there are bangers, and we do have people that have ins with teams that are looking to do CTOs and stuff, and they talk about the coins. And there's little runs, like there's things you can do, so it's fun. You can make some money, but again, it's like always, just be very careful. Don't have way too much conviction. Just play it, take your money, and if you want to hold the moon back, go ahead. But yeah, be safe. I think, Jake, you wanted to also touch on a couple of the airdrops here. I know we mention it every time we talk, but Ethos is heating up. And if you're not on it yet, like we have a really good channel, again, talking about focused discussions where we're all basically trading vouchers and reviews. And I'd suggest if you could get an invite, I think we still have, we must have people in here that have invites to give out. It's a low lift. Well, not super low lift, but it's a decent farm you can do with a potential token coming out. I mean, now all SERP is talking about is XP. I don't think the token will be coming out anytime soon. But look, if you're just looking to promote a really good product and try to move the space forward, I think Ethos is the way to do it. I think it's holding a lot of people accountable, and it's opened a lot of discussions. Like you saw Serpent Tax not really attack Zagabond, but leave an honest review on Zagabond, and that opened up a whole can of worms where people came out to defend Zagabond on chain. So that's the cool thing about it. You can have two sides basically telling a story on chain and leaving it out there for people to read. So it's been cool. I'm really enjoying it, and it feels like a lot of the bigger names now are starting to chime in and participate and vouch for or even against Ethos. So they're basically showing their true colors by doing that. But yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, got to talk about Ethos like every show now, basically, because I think it's generally like a really good product that solves a use case, and it's probably like one of the easiest farms out there that you can do for free if you wanted to, or you can invest some money in it too. Which, even though it's really not like a high cost at all, it was just like some 1-2% transaction fees, and it's basically just like staking your ETH that you can unstake at any time for the most part. So it's, even if you are investing money in it, it's not like you're spending it all, or it's like a cost. It's you can get it back relatively easy. So, and I think it's just so uniquely good for us in MVHQ as a group, because we have so many people that we know and that we trust in here that we can
vouch for and review for and get reviews back from, where it can help us out quite a bit. So, I mean, just in general, I think it's a great product, and it's also a great farm as well. Just kind of both in one. They haven't confirmed anything on a token, but I mean, they're doing XP. Would certainly lead you to believe that that's going to be a token. We directly asked him in the AMA when Serp was in here if they are doing a token. THC did, and he didn't deny it. So that's really all you need for the most part. Usually, again, I don't have any inside information if they are doing a token or not. I just what they're doing would lead you to believe that there's a pretty good chance so far. So yeah, gotta do the weekly ethos show. Join our ethos thread if you want to get involved. Get an invite from someone. I'm sure they're handing out invites a little bit more freely recently, so I'm sure. And now there's a good amount of MEHQ people out there that you'll probably be able to get invite relatively easily. If you might even just need to wait, a couple days or so.
Yeah, we also had an AMA that Poop just posted in VC Hangout chat. It's very good to listen to. We had a really good talk with him. He's a very down-to-earth person, and he takes critique very well. So, and even if you use the platform and you have something to talk about that you think could be improved on or something you don't like he's very open to it. And I think that's what makes him great. So, never be afraid to talk about it. He's probably just looking at VC Hangout chat right now. He did that last time. We were just discussing ethos, and he just came out of nowhere and started talking about it too. So it's cool, man. He's really hands-on and open. But yeah, for me, it's just a way of making this space a better place. So even if there's never an airdrop, which I think there will be eventually, even if there's never an airdrop, it's still the way to promote the space in the right direction. We saw a lot of garbage in the last few months, and ethos will help to kind of it has a good chance of helping to kind of right the ship and make crypto a better and safer place. So that's why I'm participating, really, and I'll even throw some reviews and vouchers on products and teams that I don't like. So yeah, just use it. And it's holding you accountable for doing so. Your name is attached to everything, so you think twice before leaving a bad review, and you have to think, am I really right about this, or am I just talking shit because I don't like it? So it's cool. It really does hold you accountable for your words.
Yeah. We've talked about ethos a lot, so won't do it on that too much. So I have a couple other quick shout outs. Mint Chain, airdrop claim, checker. I think this is just the checker is live. Shout out JD. I think maybe some other people have posted this too, but I just saw in his report today that he posted about it. I think Fasta was one who encouraged farming this back in the day. So I'm assuming there's some NVHQ people who have been on this a bit. Jinzo, have you or anyone else in the crowd been on the Mint Chain stuff? I haven't really been following.
No, I haven't. That's for Mintify? Or what was Mint Chain again? It was just a chain? I don't even know anything about that. I'm not really into it.
I don't really either.
I guess one of my blind spots that I have to kind of look into.
Yeah.
I like to at least know about everything, even if I'm not involved and I have no idea what that is. So I'll have to look into it more.
Oh, one other thing that applies, that could apply to some people in here. JD wrote a field report on Mintify. Yeah, I don't know if it's the same thing. Mint Chain, Mintify, is that the same thing?
Let me take a look at this field report. I was actually going to mention the field. Yeah, it is. It looks like it is. Yeah, it's Mintify. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, Cap said they're different things.
Are they? Because it looks like on JD's rundown, he's got Mintify docs, Mintify tokenomics, and then he's got. Oh yeah, you're right. It must be different things. They're talking about the Mint token here, and not Mint the chain. Yeah, it's confusing. They're kind of launching or talking about it at the same time. So yeah.
Yeah, it's confusing. I think they're both green too, if I'm not mistaken.
For sure. What else are they gonna do? Red for Mint.
Oh yeah, I also posted Bob. I think this was also in JD's report too, or someone. Yeah, I think it was maybe Metaverse or whatever. But it was in time sensitive as well. You can get some type of I think role in their Discord. It seems to be some type of Bitcoin L2. Or so if you have one of these big ordinal projects, or they have a lot of the big ETH ones too, like BAC, Azuki, Pudgy, some other stuff, ladies, or it looks like they have some runes in there too, Pups Dog. So if you have those, you can go into their Discord and verify and get a roll, and who knows, maybe that leads to some type of airdrop in the future. I'm not really sure. All I've seen is this tweet, so if anyone has other info, then feel free, but just want to point that out.
Yeah, good shout. I also want to call out the field reports. There's so many good ones this week. Obviously, we just talked about ethos, but Seth does a good overview on that. Silva goes into depth on Monad Fantasy Top. Sorry, I had to hiccup. Monad Fantasy Top and how to farm it and stuff. So that's cool. I mean, that one's really something people should keep an eye on too, and it's like very cheap or free to join right now. So definitely get involved. Stablecoin farming opportunities by AI, AVAX pre-sales by Metarova. Like, there's just so much. Monad farming guided by Metarova. Like, these all came out this week, and like we were just talking about finding an angle. You can start right here with the field reports, and then join in on some focused discussions. So, yep, start doing some reading and some research. The tools are right there for you to have success. So take advantage of them.
Oh yeah, we got a shout out. That reminds me, I got a shout out Fantasy Top as well. Since they've been getting a lot more buzz with the Monad testnet stuff. I think it's a great sign that they have been able to maintain a good amount of attention, and even starting to build up more as of recently with the Monad stuff. So again, like quality projects, farming. If you just spend time doing it, I know there's definitely a group of people in NBHQ who are super into it. Shout out, Silva and Ezrin doing the show every week. They're dedicated enough to do a show specifically on Fantasy Top itself, and they get like hundreds of viewers every week too. So I think that's I've certainly been fading it because I think I don't know if I have like the time to keep up with all of it, but maybe I'm wrong. But I just want to shout out Fantasy Top stuff again, especially because I think you can do it for free now with the Monad testnet.
Yeah, I've been involved from pretty early on. Actually, I thought I was late, and then I joined a few weeks into it, and I've been having a blast. It's been fun. It's been and it's been our hottest show, really. Like this week, obviously, it's growing with Fantasy Top, and they're getting a lot of the big names like 710, which is one of the guys that work at Fantasy Top, or like other big names to join in on the conversation, and it's been really fun. And obviously, like, I consider Silva and Ezra basically two whales, and it's fun to see these guys basically rip their packs every week and go through their strategies, because they have so many cards that they have to have actual strategy, not just one or two lines to enter. And it's fun, man. It's been a really good show, and Fantasy Top is growing. Like, our portfolios are up 30 or 40% on the week for most people. So, or not on the week, but in the last couple of weeks. So it's been steady growth, and I think them doing the whole free Monad thing got people involved and interested in coming back to the main Fantasy Top game and sweeping floors. So they're very healthy. I mean, they've pivoted a few times now into good directions and keeping up with the times, and they've been, like, Fantasy Top has done a really good job of keeping this thing afloat and actually growing. So yeah, I suggest people at least try the Monad version of it. That's free to play, and growing from there. There's a lot of things to do for free. Silver, you're the best, bro. I said it last week, I'll say it again, man. My favorite show of the week. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too. Oh, MVP vote is live too, so get your votes in.
I was actually just looking at it. Did they post it?
Oh, maybe it's not.
It's in member announcements. It is. I was looking at HQ announcements, but it's in member announcements right under it.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I knew it's a new. I didn't know we had that. It's a new. I think they just posted it there for the first time today. So yeah, member announcements. Go vote for your MVP.
Yeah, that's all I had on my docket. Anything else you want to talk about, Jinzo, or anyone community?
Poop actually has a good shout out here. Ross Boss host does compute every Thursday. This week guest is Tyler D. That's a big guest. I like that show too, actually. So yeah, tune in. Go help us out with a little bit of viewership, and Ross does a good job. I like that show a lot. So I'm actually surprised that it doesn't get more than that, but I guess it's still growing, and yeah, it's a good one. I learned a lot every week on that show. That's all I got. Last chance for the crowd to speak up on things that we missed. If you have anything, yeah, we're here.
Great show, fellas. Appreciate the content shouts across the board, and hopefully the market stays a little bit green for us this week. So let's keep the momentum going.
Let's do it. Thank you. I'm gonna be sticking around to talk through the Gigaverse stuff, but I need to go make myself a coffee and be back in 5 minutes. But JJ, if you're down, we can, and Jake too, if you're down, we can run through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna join
Yeah,
that
yeah.
too. I gotta run to the bathroom real quick. But yeah, we can wrap the show here. Thank you guys.
Sounds good. Thank you guys. See you in a few minutes.